So just to give us some general information about you, what we're going to do now is we're just going to launch a poll, just asking where you're working, which stage you're working with, and what you already know about the Sustainable Development Goals. So if you could just answer those 3 questions for us, we'll just give you a few minutes to do that. I'll just launch that just now. Okay, so that should be appearing on your screens as we speak.
That's the first time I've seen the polls used in a Zoom call.
They're great, aren't they? They're very instant.
But yeah, quite nice.
Yeah.
Nice tool, that.
Yeah, I'm already thinking I'm going to use that idea myself.
Yes. We like this one. So what we're seeing is we've got 68% of our participants are from Scotland, 32% from the wider UK, which is great. Nobody from the rest of the world. In which area of education do you work? We've got 83% of primary, 13% secondary, 2% further education, 2% community, and 13% other. And we've asked the question, have you heard of the Sustainable Development Goals? 11% not at all, 55% have heard of them, 19% are fully aware of the Sustainable Development Goals, and 22% have used them in their teaching. I'm just going to end the poll now. Thank you all for your participation in that. So yes, interesting to see where people are from, and hopefully there will be something here included for everybody today. So here you'll see the 2 people we have featured, Dr. Richard Holmes and Daisy Hughes-Ibens, who are going to be speaking today and presenting, and Sally will introduce them just when we come to them a little bit further down the line. So just to give you a little bit of background about the One World Centre, if you're not familiar with it, the One World Centre is a development education centre. We're based in Dundee, and there are actually 5 development education centres working across Scotland. Our area is specifically Dundee, Angus, Fife and Perth and Kinross, but wherever you are in Scotland, there is a development education centre that covers your area. At the One World Centre, we offer professional learning sessions for teachers. We've got lots and lots of hard copy resources. We recommend a lot of online resources these days, and we can give advice and support for anything to do with global citizenship, education, learning for sustainability. We're currently offering schools and teachers the opportunity to be involved in a British Council programme, which is called the British Council Connecting Classrooms for Global Learning programme. Quite a mouthful, but the purpose of it is to support schools in setting up a partnership with a school overseas. And this programme provides funding to enable shared learning and communication between the school here and the partner school overseas. So if you'd like more information about the detail of that, please do get in touch with us and we'll be very happy to share that with you. I'm going to pass over to Sally now, and she's just going to talk through the aims of today and give a little bit more background to today's session before introducing our special guests.
Okay, thank you very much, folks. So what we're going to do today is we want to help you become more familiar with the global goals or sustainable development goals, to give them their proper title, and the wonderful teaching context that these provide. We're also going to introduce you to a wealth of practical action activities, and Daisy is going to demonstrate one of these live for us, live virtually for us in a short while. As Clare mentioned, we're also lucky enough to be joined by Julie Brown, who is Head of Education at Practical Action. And hopefully by the end of the afternoon, you will feel more confident to teach STEM subjects. I think there's quite a lot of primary teachers from what I could see from the registrations, and very often the primary teachers feel that we need a little bit more confidence when it comes to STEM subjects. Okay, so why global citizenship and STEM? Why are we doing this session? Global citizenship is very often viewed as being associated with social subjects, modern studies, geography, religious moral education. But we would see it as spanning the whole curriculum across all ages and stages. Now, there's obviously some slight technical hitch, because you should actually be seeing at this moment the global citizenship themes, which are available in the Global Citizenship Guides. Ah, here we go. I'll just wait for this to catch up. Right, if we could move on to the next one, thanks, that's brilliant. Yeah, so these are the big ideas or the global citizenship themes as defined by Oxfam: globalisation and interdependence, social justice and equity, identity and diversity, sustainable development, conflict and peace. So these are big, scary issues. But they provide a really rich, real life context for STEM subjects. And in turn, STEM subjects contribute greatly to the understanding of these themes and the challenges that we face in the world today, things like climate change, deforestation, declining biodiversity, poverty, etc. And global citizenship always aims to link the local to the global. So if we were to take social justice and equity just as an example there, if we pay £2 for a bar of chocolate, say, without numeracy skills, how do we know if the percentage received by the cocoa farmer is fair or not? Without maths, how do we know what's a fair distribution of the world's resources amongst its people in terms of land, wealth, food, water, energy, etc.? And without science, how do we understand the carrying capacity of the planet and the rate at which we're using up the planet's finite resources? Okay, so all of these ideas are available through the Oxfam guides, and we can send you a link to these later on. So at this point, I'm now, oh no I'm not, sorry, I'm going to go on to look at the SDGs. Claire, could you put on the next slide?
Sure, Sally, yeah. Sorry.
So what will come up in a second are the global goals or sustainable development goals. I can see them in the background here. There you go. 17 areas which were identified in 2015 by the UN, working with civil society organisations, as areas for improvement, things that the world needs to focus on to deal with the challenges we face and make the world a fairer, safer, more sustainable place. So that's them there. We'll go on to look at them in a wee bit more detail later on. 17 altogether, divided into 169 targets, all of which will at some stage need to be measured. Now these goals apply to all countries around the world, so they're equally important to Scotland as they are to England or Malawi or Bangladesh. And in Scotland, these goals are actually linked into the National Performance Framework, so that the Scottish Government is looking at how Scotland can improve on these areas as well. The link at the bottom there, the world's largest lesson, will take you to a wealth of resources to help you explore the goals with children and young people in your class from a very young age onwards. And we'll give you starter activities, videos, lesson plans, resources, and all sorts of stuff. So a really useful website. And if you were to just Google world's largest lesson, it would come up. So if you could move on to the next slide, please, Claire. This is just to emphasise what the goals are, the main features, although there's 17 of them and they're all very much interconnected. The really big ideas are to tackle poverty, to tackle inequality, and to fight climate change. So these are the three sort of big ideas, but all of them link into that. And as I say, they're all interconnected and they all provide a really good context. I would be amazed if there were any teachers here today who hadn't used some of these contexts in their teaching. Just wanted to focus a wee bit on quality education. Unlike the Millennium Development Goals, which preceded these goals and ended in 2015, where education and the provision of the numbers of children and young people in education was important. This time round, it's not just about the quantity, it's also about the quality of that education. And there's a specific goal, 4.7, if we can see that up next, thanks. This goal, 4.7, is basically, it's about global citizenship education, and it's enshrined there in the Sustainable Development Goals. So everything that the One World Centre and the Ideas Network and others have been working on for the last 50 years is actually there in that one target. How we measure it, of course, is a trickier issue and something not for discussion today. Right, okay, I think we are now finally ready to move on to Dr. Richard Holmes. Richard is lecturer in ITE at Dundee University. So I'm just going to pass over to Richard, who's going